everyone, and welcome to Boob Buddies, where scars meet stars. I am so excited to be here today with Stephanie.
Hi.
Let me start off by saying my name is Noreen Giovanoni. I'm a physical therapist. I'm actually a business owner. I own 3 businesses. I am this close to getting certified as a functional nutrition counselor. And what else do? I have 2 daughters. They're 22 and 24. I have a husband. I have a little dog. And I do have a journey all about breast cancer. And that's kind of what brought us together.
Yes, it was. I remember getting that phone call and meeting you. And my name is Stephanie Wagner. I'm a registered nurse for over 30 years. Makes me feel old. But I've done a lot in my ER career, and I am now currently the owner of the Twinkled Wrinkled. I love skincare and all things about that. I am married. I have 2 children, one in dental school, one in college also. And happily married to a great husband. But Noreen and I met several years ago when you were diagnosed that you needed your double mastectomy.
Yes.
And I got a phone call from a friend, Steph, would you talk to Noreen? And we hit it off immediately.
Yes. And here we are today. So we're going to back up a little bit just to tell you what brought us here to do this podcast. We're kind of crazy. So
yeah.
You remember the phone call?
I do. I do. Hey, Steph, you want to be my co-host in a podcast? Sure, Noreen. I'm really busy, but I will sit there and talk. I can talk. Here I am talking.
So the real reason that we wanted to do this is because there are so many women right now who are struggling more and more. In fact, the statistics say 1 in every 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer, and that 1 in 3 women will have breast cancer if they had a mother or a grandmother that had breast cancer before the age of 50. So that's astounding.
Big.
So we really wanted to start this podcast, 1, because we wanted a place for women that are going through this, for women that are maybe contemplating a prophylactic mastectomy, to feel heard, to feel that they're not alone. And we wanted to give you a lot of information based on our personal experiences.
And through our journeys, we've met so many great people. I feel like myself being in the medical field, I felt comfortable. I felt like I was with my people. There are a lot of people out there that are going through this that don't have people to talk to, that might not know what questions to ask, that might not know. And we are here to help anybody that needs help. Several years I've gotten phone calls from people that I don't know. Could you just answer some questions? Absolutely. And we're here to not be judgmental. We're here not to tell you what to do. We're here to listen to you and answer any questions or give advice, anything that you may need, and tell you about our journeys.
Right. And I continued, just like you, Steph, I can't tell you how many women I have helped through this process. Some women I talk to once, some women I talk to and guide them throughout. Some women, like you,
Boob Buddies,
have become my Boob Buddies, right? Sometimes your life takes a turn for the worse, what you think is the worst, and it is not easy. Hearing that diagnosis for me, I'll get into my story a little bit more, but hearing cancer associated with you is a really tough pill to swallow. So we want to help you through that process. And then beyond that, once our stories are done, just as women, we want to help women live their most productive, healthy, happy lives, because there's a lot of stress out there. And so being that we are both, I won't say our ages, middle-aged, some younger than others, we want our podcast to really speak to those women as well. So beyond breast cancer, we will take you beyond our journey and how that fell through. Why don't you tell us about your journey with breast cancer?
Sure. I think I was 42 when I had my double mastectomy, but I was 40 when I had my first mammogram.
Okay.
Maybe 38. And then at 40, the mammogram just showed a bunch of craziness. Scary. Every 6 months I went for a mammogram, and every 6 months they found something different, and every 6 months I got biopsies. I think I had about 10 to 13 biopsies in 2 years. Wow. Finally, it was I think it was lucky number 13 for me that I was like, oh, okay. They found a little bit of cancer, but it was not spread. And my decision was to have a double mastectomy. And it was the best decision I made. I was so happy that I was able to find it early. It didn't spread. I did not need chemo or radiation. I had my double mastectomy. My doctors were amazing. And we're hoping that in our future podcasts, you'll be able to meet our doctors.
Yeah.
The ones that did the mastectomy and the ones that did our reconstruction. So you'll stay tuned and hopefully get to meet them too. And through my journey, I had a lot of support, and it was really a special time. I look back and I'm very thankful for everybody that I met. And through that, I opened the business, The Nipple Nurse, RN, where I tattoo 3D nipples on breast cancer patients. So when the mastectomy surgery and everything is done, I must say it's like the cherry on the cake because it's the ending. And I come to me and I can create a 3D nipple for them. Yeah. And it's really magical because it kind of lets that patient know that they're done. They finished that journey and now they can move on a little bit and look in the mirror and feel a little more comfortable about themselves.
Yeah. I love that you went on because one of my friends had to go, gosh, I think she traveled 6 hours to get nipples tattooed on. And here you are now in our right in our backyard in Monmouth County, Aberdeen, New Jersey. So that's amazing.
And being a nurse, I have a special number that goes with my license. So most people get reimbursed. So I will give you a receipt and you can try to get it back from your insurance company. If I know you're a plastic surgeon, we'll try to get a prescription written. So a lot of times the insurance companies will recognize that this is a necessity. This is not a cosmetic tattoo. This is something that was taken away from you that you can now have given back and the insurance should pay it. So that's always a positive.
Yeah. And we will get into in another podcast all about nipples because I have a lot to say about that.
We do.
Yeah. So my journey, I started with my first lumpectomy. I had no history in my family. I had my first lumpectomy when I was in college. I don't even know if you knew that. I was at the University of Delaware and it was the scariest thing in the world. Blue hen, woohoo! That was my first one. After that, I went on to have 7 more lumpectomies. I, like Stephanie, was on the high-risk program, which meant I went to a high-risk clinic, hospital, and I had an MRI, a mammogram, and an ultrasound every single year, which is really stressful. Every single year, 3 tests. And I'm embarrassed for the nurse, but I had a nurse say to me one day, and this was after my cousin passed away, she said to me, "Don't worry, honey. By the time you get cancer, you are so monitored. We'll catch it so early. We'll just pluck it out of you." Yes, I actually had a nurse say that to me.
Horrible.
So after I had my sixth or seventh lumpectomy, it came back as something called atypical hyperplasia, which is a cell type. And what that means is that if that was left in my body, it would have turned to cancer. So at that point, there were no recommendations other than continue to do your testing. And I was like awaiting. I felt like I was.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
Oh my gosh!
You're happy, you're sad, you're happy. Are they going to find it? Are they not going to find it? When they don't find it, did they miss it? Or what's going to happen next time? It's just an emotional roller coaster while you're going through it.
And the stress associated with that, not only for me but my family, was terrible. And another terrible thing happened. My cousin was diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer when she was 47 years old. Unfortunately, her path did not go so well. At 48 and a half, she ended up passing away. She had metastatic cancer. It went to her brain, it went to her liver, it went to her lungs. And I will never forget one night I was caring for her and she literally grabbed my hands and said, "Nor, don't let this be you, right? Because you and I are so similar." And it was at that point I had an appointment scheduled with my high-risk, the nurse practitioner who ran the high-risk clinic, actually right here in Monmouth County at Monmouth Medical Center. And I went in and broke down to her. And she said, "Listen, I had no genetic predisposition, but when she ran, oh my gosh, I'm going to forget what it's called. There was a test that she did where she just put numbers down and it came out that I was 88% likely to get breast cancer." So at that point, I went and I interviewed surgeons, and I interviewed 3 surgeons who all said the same thing. You will be covered by insurance, because that's always huge. Right. Will my insurance cover it? With this score, that I would be covered, and also with my history of lumpectomies and my
family
last
history.
one. Yes,
and now strong family history.
And now my cousin passed away. I went ahead and I had my mastectomy, and that's how I met Stephanie. When I went in to talk to my follow-up visit after the surgery, my breast surgeon actually told me that I had breast cancer. So although I had that small, right before I was going in, oh my gosh, am I doing the right thing? Should I be doing this? Some people will look at you if you make this decision and think you're a little crazy. Oh my gosh, you're chopping off your breasts and you don't even have cancer? That's crazy. For me, it was all about prevention. And thank God I was told that day, if we did not do this, we would not have caught this until it was stage 3, because I had such dense breast tissue. And a lot of people have dense breast tissue. And what that means is on an MRI, where they usually use that to diagnose breast cancer, the whole picture of your breast looks white and that's what a tumor looks like.
You can't
White.
see it. It's very difficult to find them.
Right. So I was so blessed that I did what I did.
Same, and the same, we both had the same breast surgeon. So that same surgeon came to me 10 days post-op. I opted for the double mastectomy also. They found it in one side, and I said, I want them both off. And that was my personal opinion, and that's what I wanted. And 10 days later, I'm sitting in her office, and she comes in with a tear in her eye, and she gave me a hug, and she said, Stephanie, I am so glad that you took both of them. She goes, the pathology showed you had some pre-cancer and some active cancer in your good side, that you avoided a mess, you know? So I was very happy that I went with my gut, and I stood my ground and said, I want them both off. And she gave me a hug, and I remember saying, thank God I did that, you know.
And I got the same surgeon. She was amazing because I got a big hug that day.
We're hoping to get her on here. So yeah, I think she's going to do it.
I'm sure she will. But I had no idea what I was walking into that day. And I had my mother who was helping me, and I said, Mom, you can go home. My husband went back to work. Mom, you can go home. I had a friend bring me. And 2 hours later, when I walked out into that waiting room, because that's how amazing the surgeon is, right? I never mind waiting for her anymore.
She is amazing.
2 hours later, maybe an hour and a half, I walked out into a waiting room that was standing room only, because she took that much time with me, because that was a shock to me. I did not know. So I had to know what my next steps were, where I went from there. It was so much more than just the surgery at that point.
She also takes notes for you too. Like I know, I'm a nurse, I'm in the medical field, and medical terminology is just another language that is very easy for me to understand. When you're sitting there faced with the one that is the patient, I remember I was with my husband at the consultation, and she wrote everything down that she was saying. And she handed it to me, and she goes, here's your notes. I go, what do you mean? And she says, I wrote down everything just in case you forget it. And I'm like, genius. Because I'm like, did she say this? Did she not say this? Usually I'm the one writing notes for a patient. Usually I'll go with a family member and write things down so that we can go over it later. The doctor wrote them down for me. She's amazing.
And it was quite a journey.
It really has been.
Quite a journey.
It's really, for me, it's been 11 years. And again, best decision that I made.
Right.
You know, life's stressful to begin with, and then to have that in the back of your mind when you have small children, you know, or even if you don't have children, you have family, people love you, and you don't want to cause any pain to anybody, and you want to know that you're healthy and that you're going to live a good, happy life, which we have.
Right.
You know, our years, we've been very, very lucky. We've done a lot of good things, and we've given back because we realize how lucky we are. Not everybody is as lucky.
Right.
So part of our journey here is to really show people that it can be very scary, but you can come out on a positive side. And I always say this to people: cancer doesn't define you. It's what you do when you have the cancer that defines you. It's how you come out of it. And I think the two of us have really proved that we've come out of it, and we've done better for people. You have a foundation where you raise a lot of money for people with breast cancer.
Yes. So can I ask you, in your experience, when you decided to do this, you had no choice at that time, but what was your family's and your friends' reactions? Because family support of friends, support of other people. You said you reached out to other people. What was your process? What was of going through that?
Everybody was super supportive. I think because everybody knew about the biopsies. And I tell you what, at one point, I wasn't even telling anybody I was going for another mammogram. Like every 6 months would come, and I would try not to tell anybody, because it was just I felt bad every time I'm waiting for another biopsy. I didn't want to get everybody all upset. So basically, when I found out, when I made my decision, my husband, I spoke to him. My children were very young at the time, and I was very honest with them. You know, I mean, everybody has their own way of doing things, and I'm very honest with my children. And I promised them that the night of my double mastectomy, that they were going to see me that night. And unfortunately, the hospital was busy, and I was stuck in recovery till 11 o'clock at night, because they didn't have a bed for me upstairs. And my kids waited in that waiting room with my mother, my father, and my husband, because I promised them that they were going to see me. The hospital was closed. There was nothing for visitors, but those nurses made sure that my kids were able to come up and see me that night, just for a second, because I promised them that I would be there.
Yeah. That's
and that I don't usually cry over this.
Oh,
it's been 11 years, and I feel like I'm a little hardened to it sometimes. And this is really bringing me back to that night when they came and they saw me. And my husband took me, they, you know, and again, a nurse forever. They had this cute little transporter who was going to take my limp body and put it into the bed. There was no way she could lift me.
Right.
So I was like, I hear my husband down the hall. He can do it. And my husband came and picked me up and put me in the bed. And it's just, I had so much support, friends, family.
Right.
And it was weird being on the other side because I'm usually the caretaker.
Right.
And to have people take care of me is bittersweet. Really.
Right. Yeah.
But it was look back and it was really a pleasant journey.
Yeah.
It really was to see how everybody just shows up for you.
Right.
Food was coming to my house every day, gift cards, people showing up, flowers.
Yeah.
You know, it was amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
And if you're someone out there that thinks, well, I don't have that support, so how can I get through it? There are people, I have made so many friends and so many connections. Stephanie, for one, I never met her. I spoke on the phone to her about the whole mastectomy and what it meant, and she gave me all the gory details, which was amazing. And we will talk about those gory details. But she actually called me, I'll never forget, and dropped bras off.
I don't remember that. I don't remember it.
She dropped a bag of bras into my mailbox. She said, these might come in handy because they were front closure, and you definitely need those if you are going through this. But if you're someone out there who just doesn't have the support, because not everyone does.
Right.
This is part of this podcast. We want you to reach out to us. We have a lot of connections. I'll get into my journey after and how I've tried to help people who are in crisis battling breast cancer through an amazing organization that is local to us. But there are so many organizations and so many people in your community
that want to help.
They do. So you are never, ever alone. And that's part of our podcast too. Yes. You are now, if you're listening, you are now our Boob Buddy. For life.
Reach out. We can be there for you.
Yes, you can email us. You can comment under this podcast. Let us know. We are here to help you. That is part of what this entire podcast is all about. Whether you're going through mastectomy, breast cancer, anything else. Anything.
We're going to get to hormone therapy one of these days too. Yeah. So we have it all covered.
Yeah. Menopause, perimenopause.
The funny thing was, if we would just stand up, I never met Noreen, and I dropped these bras off to her. I didn't realize she's about 5 foot nothing and like this, and I am like 5'8" and a little bit bigger. So those bras definitely weren't.
Oh, it didn't matter because there was so much fluff under them, right?
But when I saw her, I just laughed because I dropped these bras off thinking they're gonna fit, and then when I saw her, I could fit her in my little palm.
No. They were great. They were great. They were very much appreciated. So that's what this is all about, and we have just touched the tip of the iceberg with our journeys, and we are going to continue to give you helpful hints if you are going through this. If you're trying to make the decision to have a mastectomy, we are going to go into that in a future podcast.
We have lots to talk about, and stick with us because there's going to be something in one of our podcasts that's going to speak directly to you. We have so many things to talk about. We are here for you.
Yes. And if you have anyone who is going through this, just share this with them because we would love to make them our Boob Buddy. All right. Episode 1.
Awesome.
It's a wrap. And thank you so much for tuning in and watching.
We'll see you guys soon.
All right. That wasn't so bad.
Was it?